The equipment inventory locator component helps you track the location of assets. It was originally written to track emergency equipment that volunteers could use. They track anything from shovels and raincoats to chainsaws and industrial equipment for removing debris. We go through a normal Joomla install. We go to the back side and we choose Extensions, Install, Uninstall. We click the Browse button and we find the emergency preparedness component on our hard drive, and we click the Upload file and install. First thing we need to do after the install completes is create a menu selection. And we click New for a new menu selection. We select the emergency preparedness component, and then we choose the inventory default layout, and then we type in a title for our component, equipment inventory locator, and we save the menu selection. And then the next thing that you do to complete the installation is you go to Components and Emergency Preparedness, the big red E, and Locations. You can see here there are locations already in the component. I put these in here so that people could see the type of information that goes in the fields. In a minute we're going to go through and we're going to delete all these, but the first thing that you would do after an installation would be to delete all these and then add back your location. Alright, but first, let's see, let me show you some asset types. Here we have emeritus, blower, chainsaw, compressor. There were several different asset types that they were using in the emergency preparedness world, and then they had keywords for each of these assets. For instance, a generator, they might want to know how many amps, what type of fuel it uses, whether it has a trailer, how many volts it is, how many watts it is. For a compressor, they may want to know what fuel type, gas, diesel, or electric, how many horsepower the compressor is, what size hose it is, perhaps what range air pressure that it'll hold. Anyway, you can see you can put in lots of different types of keywords and asset types. Let's flip over to the front page. And let's reload so we can see our new menu selection, and we'll click it, and now we see the assets that come with the component also. And there's one of them here that the estimated return date has not been put in, and that happens quite often when you're relocating an asset. You may not know exactly when it's going to come back, but as soon as you do, you can come here and you can edit the record. In this case, we didn't even put the date that it was checked out, but let's say it was checked out yesterday and that the estimated return is Monday. Alright, and we can put notes in there about the return or other issues, perhaps some repair issues with the equipment. Okay, so then we save the record. And you can see now we have an estimated return date, and this particular asset was at the post office. Let's go back to our view all items at all locations, view, and there you can see that this particular item's estimated return is $228, and it's out at the golf course for flood training. So let's go ahead and add a new asset while we're here. And we're going to add a heater. And we're going to put in the number of BTUs and the type of fuel that it uses. And we're going to say that its home office is county courthouse. Its home location. And that it is at home. Alright, let's save the record. Now let's create another new record. I'm going to show you about creating asset types. You can see here on the screen where we formerly chose the asset type for the last asset that we entered. You can also enter new assets here. and you type the name of the asset type and any notes about the asset type, also any related keywords that you want to collect data for from these assets, and then you'd click down here to add both the asset and the keywords. Now let's say for instance you want to add keywords to one of these asset types up here. They already have some keywords, but you want to add some more. Well, you type in the keywords that you want to add, and then instead of clicking here, you would click on the asset type that you want to add these keywords to. So you remember when we had heater, we had BTUs and fuel type. Let's go in and let's add trailer. And so we're going to add trailer to heater. And so now you can see where we had BTU fuel, now we also have trailer. Now let's go back to our asset list. Let's look at the all locations view. Let's check out an asset. So in order to check out an asset, we go put the location that it's at, I'm going to put that it's at a training area, and then we change the status from at home yes to at home no, and we save the record. Now you can see that the location is now training area. Okay, so let's go back and edit the record again. Let's put in a date in service for this unit. We didn't put that in as we created the unit. But then let's put in the checkout date. We didn't put that in just a minute ago when we changed the location. And then let's put in an estimated return date. And save the record. And now you can see some more information in here about this particular asset. It's at the training area. It has the estimated time of return. Alright, so now let's go edit the record again and let's check it back in. Alright, so the only thing we need to do to check it back in is change this to yes. We can leave the last location in there just for reference information so that we know if maybe a piece is missing where to go look for it. So, save the record. And you can see now that it's back at its home location, the post office. Okay, so we go back to the back side and let's delete all the keywords. To do that, we will click here in the checkbox in the heading, which checks all the boxes, kind of dangerous. We're going to delete the first page of keywords. There's actually 2 pages worth, so we check the heading again to delete page 2. And now you can see all the keywords are gone. Okay, next let's delete the keywords or let's delete the locations. And lastly, the types. Well, actually, lastly, we want to delete all the assets on the front. Okay, that's how you clear out all the data. Now we need to go back, we need to add in one location because it's required that you have one location to start. We call our location the home office. And save the location record. Alright, now let's go back to the front side and let's create a new asset. We're going to call this asset a blower. Asset type is a blower. And for keyword, we're going to have size in inches and color. We're only going to allow numeric input for the size in inches. Of course, we're going to put in some possible choices here for colors, but we'll allow alpha also. And so now that we have our asset type put in there, we click the button down here to add both the asset type and the keywords for this new asset. And we see the only location is home office, and so that's automatically selected. We have no last location at this time. It is at home. The date and service is going to be today. Alright, it's not checked out yet, so we don't have any of that information, so we're going to save the record. Alright, so you can see that we have our one atom. And that's all there is to the equipment inventory locator program. You can add assets, types, and keywords on the fly, which allow you to change the type of data that you're recording on the fly. And it's a pretty nice program for keeping track of where your assets are. Thank you.